Hey, Eric Steinke here, Field Ambassador for Lenawee County FCA. Once again, we are looking at this Pursue theme. You get the pleasure of hearing me throughout the month of May here as we talk about pursuing life still. The sub-theme of Pursuing Life in this quarter is called Examining Your Heart. So how can we examine our heart in pursuing after what God has in store for us? The verses I want you to look at today have to do with Jacob meeting Esau. Jacob actually wrestling with God, wrestling with who God chose him to be, and how he got to be who he is, and wanting God to bless him. So Genesis chapter 32, verses 9 through 32. And then also want you to look at the story of Moses and the burning bush, or one or both of these stories, from Exodus chapter 3, verses 1 through 20. And Moses, again, doesn't feel adequate enough to do the job that God is calling him directly to do. He had 40 years growing up in Pharaoh's palace. He had 4 years then also in the desert, examining who he was and who God created him to be. And I just think God created him for this mission to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. And Moses is saying, no, I'm not worthy. I'm still not worthy. I still am not qualified enough to do this. And God said, no, listen, 40 years I prepared you. And then another 40 years I prepared your heart. So you know Egypt inside and out. And you know Israelites inside and out. And you know me, the Lord. So when I think about that, I think about this and how it ties to examining our heart. My counselor, one of the things he suggested recently was to take a look at the last year of my life and reflect on that and do some journaling reflection and to say, where are the blessings? How can you see God at work in your life over the last year? Now, I could be like Moses and look over my life and say, oh, I'm just not worthy. I'm not adequate. I'm a failure. And I murdered someone, right? That's what Moses did. Not me, Moses. And I'm just not worthy. I'm full of sins and I've made mistakes and I'm not worthy. Or I can look over the last year of my life and say, well, this is how God's blessed me. He's surrounded me with people that love me and support me and uplift me and pray for me and with me. And he has blessed me with a family that is just so powerful that I can see God working through other people in my life. So the first step, I think, in examining our heart is to reflect, is to look back and to say, what are blessings in my life? What has God blessed me with? And maybe those blessings that we're looking at, we can examine and say, these are my things that I'm passionate about then too. These are the things that God has created me to be. The ups and downs of life, even in the downs of life, there can still be some blessings that we can find. So today I would encourage you to read those two stories, or one of them at least, and reflect on your own life and how God has brought you to where you're at today. Blessings on your journey of examination. See you next week.